Ain't shady, baby, I'm hot, like the prodigal son. Big up Bartolini, meeny, money, mo, and flower, you're the chosen one. Well, your left hand's free, and your right's in grip, with another left hand watches right and slip. Schwartz is gone.
A couple of days into bikepacking North Carolina's Appalachian Gravel Growler, I got a text from a friend back in Alaska reading, "So, how are those so-called mountains stacking up down there?" Standing on Mount Mitchell, overlooking landscapes of golds, oranges, reds, and yellows, as far as the eye could see in all directions, I replied, "They're magnificent, they're kicking my ass, and I shouldn't have waited so long to come here." Heading into autumn of 2022, the Appalachian Gravel Growler seemed like the trip Leigh and I had been looking for. A moderately difficult, week-long adventure someplace completely new, someplace speckled with all sorts of delightful brew pubs, and a trip that was super easy logistically to resupply. Leigh and I have been keeping our fingers and toes crossed in hopes of good weather and even better foliage.
This is really like an added layer of difficulty with these leaves. Yeah, my brakes probably need to rest.
Upon arrival, we found the seasonal splendor that we had been dreaming of. Unfortunately, what we didn't receive were our bikes. Lost and damaged in transit, it wouldn't be until days later that they'd arrive, and they'd need some additional love before they'd find themselves journey-worthy. We had always planned on cycling the route in reverse from how it appears on bikepacking.com, heading south to north. Now facing down delays, we moved our starting location from Oscar Blues in Brevard to Asheville, effectively shaving a day and a half off the start of our ride. A silver lining to this itinerary alteration was that we'd be gaining a brief window of opportunity to explore Asheville in a more intimate manner than we had initially planned. And explore we did. All of our weeks of watching Blown Away on Netflix. Now we're at a glass shop. It's so cool.
My house in Budapest, my hidden treasure chest, golden grand piano, my beauty focused EOU. Ooh, you, ooh, I'd leave it all. My acres of land I've achieved. It may be hard for you to stop and believe, but for you, ooh, I'd leave it all. Ooh, for you, ooh, I'd leave it all. Give me one good reason why I should never make a change. Baby, if you owe me, then all of this will go away.
Dispersed camping along the Blue Ridge Parkway is difficult. If you need an impromptu campsite as a bikepacker, you'll need to jump off the small ribbon of Department of Interior owned land that follows the parkway and drop down onto National Forest Service lands. This being said, we discovered a truly incredible tucked away campsite off an old closed Forest Service road near Craigie Gardens.
Give me one good reason why I should never make a change. Baby, if you owe me, then all of this will go away.
While the views along the parkway were mind-melting, I won't lie to you, I hate cycling on asphalt. I'm not used to riding on pavement, let alone America's busiest national parkway. By the time we found ourselves dropping down towards Old Fort, Leigh and I were both extremely thankful to say goodbye to the nearly steady stream of traffic zooming by us in exchange for gravel roads under golden canopies. Look, a Forest Service pump that works. This is why people are riding gravel, because you know what? This is 8 trillion times better than riding the Blue Ridge Parkway. Oh my God.
Ooh, I do see those. Ooh, for you. Ooh, I do see those.
First other bikepacker we've seen.
Give me one good reason why I should never make a change. Baby, if you owe me, then all of this will go away. Give me one good reason why I should never make a change. Baby, if you owe me, then all of this will go away. My house in Budapest, my hidden treasure chest, golden grand piano, my beauty focused EOU. Ooh, I'd leave it all. Ooh, for you, I'd leave it all.
You want to buy a bag of onions from Pine Island? And I'll never stop being sad about the Onion Harvest Festival shirt that I lost.
As we steadily creeped east along a route, we found ourselves some primitive multi-use trails for a while. This came as a pleasant surprise to us, as we were expecting just pavement, gravel, and one hellish power line cut between Old Fort and the Linville Gorge. The section along the Mountain to Sea and Harris Creek multi-use trails ended up being some of our favorite riding of the entire trip. Late in the day, with a thunderstorm barreling down upon us, we met the crux of the Appalachian Gravel Growler, the dreaded power line cut. Now, we're no slouches when it comes to hike-a-bike. After all, don't all worthwhile bikepacking trips need a hiker bike or two? Still, the multitude of signs reading "Trespass and Die," flavored with the hum of nearby off-road vehicles, a busted-open non-motorized Forest Service gate, and the percussion of gunfire made this hike-a-bike much scarier than it needed to be. We just saw some "Trespass or Die" signs back there. It's for the property to our right, but still really scary. One of the gates to this was opened, and we heard ATV tracks. So it's time to push through. We made camp in the night off this old logging road. After climbing that crazy power line cut. Last day, riding into Morganton. Now, the South comes with its plethora of stereotypes, but this was the only time on our journey where we were made to feel unwelcome. By contrast, our day had begun with a stranger giving us a $20 bill out of the blue just to assist us with our travels. Bikepacking has always been an endeavor in slowing down and noticing that despite all the evidence to the contrary, people are kind. People are good.
Feel your left hand's free and your right hand grip with another left hand watches right and slip. Schwartz is gone.
And just like that, we found ourselves in Morganton, and our trip was over. Bikepacking trips almost never go as you plan. What we imagined to be our most relaxing and logistically mellow trip in ages ended up starting off with panic attacks and nightmare fuel. Had we been told how much of our ride we'd have to alter and throw out the window ahead of time, we almost certainly would not have come to North Carolina. Fortunately, there are no crystal balls to help guide us bikepackers.